All right, guys. I will use these since these booger eating Apple products suck. Um, so there we go. All right, let's get airborne. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. Did everybody go out and riot and stuff like that? Uh, Pretty interesting that just the lies, right? The media and Democrats in particular just lie. A woman's right to choose has been taken away, and they overturned it. It's all lies. 9 unelected judges, 7, put probably the most contentious issue since slavery back into the hands of voters, and somehow that ended abortion. I just can't. I can't stand lies, right? The lying. But I'm begging you, if you're a Democrat, please keep rioting and blowing shit up in Democrat cities and states where abortion's legal. That's awesome. And I'm begging you, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden and AOC, to please make abortion the number one issue in November. It'll work perfectly for you. Please. I'm begging you, Stacey Abrams, to tell the voters of Georgia that you want to kill a child up to the moment of birth. I want you on record. That's not where Americans are. Trust me. But if that's where you all want to go and focus not on inflation and everything else, it will be a red tsunami. Karen, that's exactly right. So the reason they're really pissed is because they didn't have to do anything, right, for voters or anything like that. Judges just elected something out of, well, the 14th Amendment uses the word liberty, so that means anything, right? I can do whatever I want to my body. No, that's not true. You can smoke, you can't smoke, well, you can smoke crack if you're in San Francisco or LA. I mean, you can do whatever you want in Democrat cities. Um, but it was lazy, right? It was now they actually have to work. Now they're going to have to go to 50 different people, states, and go, this is what we believe to our core. Before it was, hey man, those judges said this. But when these judges say this, I'm not going to talk too much about this. I did my podcast Friday about this. But it's crazy. It's what a contentious issue. And God forbid we just like stop and put it back in the hands of voters. I just don't. I don't. Exactly, Bob. That's why they're worried. That's why they're freaking out. It was better to have unelected people do it. Gone are the days, and just the stupidity of like, well, the day before states can regulate guns, and now it's you're fucking stupid. One is actually written in the piece of paper, the right to keep, like in your home, above your fireplace, and bear outside of your place was written down. And they actually, in case stupid generations come after us, we don't think that's going to happen because we've been great founding fathers, but in case there's stupid people that come after us, hey, Tom or Ben, write down the words shall not be infringed. You think they'll get it? The other one was invented in the 70s. The Supreme Court stopped the democratic process in the 70s. State legislatures were kind of talking about stuff. Supreme Court, we're going to decide. What? It's just like psychedelics, folks. Psychedelics in the 60s and 70s, and hey, let's all kind of debate. And does this have therapeutic effect? Richard Nixon, boom, war on drugs. Psychedelics, anti-war people, bad. African Americans, bad. All this stuff, bad. Now, just like the psychedelic movement, this goes back to the states. Anyway, I've, you guys know, based on what I've seen the soul, I've seen all sorts of shit, man. Um, I mean, They really overplayed their hand. This is really what Democrats do, right? That's why you see people like Bill Maher and a bunch of other Democrats that are like, holy shit, there's some crazy people. You're part of it, Bill. You started it. Don't give me this, oh, things are crazy now. You're responsible. Fucking clean it up. They went too far. If you're declared dead when your heart stops, why aren't you declared alive? I've never understood that. Beep. I declare him dead at 10:07 p.m. Oh, wait, his heart just started again. Whatever. Well, we're not going to talk about this. Mitch, I don't disagree. That's the game plan, right? Is the purple haired nipple ring people are going to now go ape shit? The red team to your red team is if you have a belief on abortion, it's been solidified. There ain't too much gray in the middle of this. The red team to your red team is that people go, thank God it's done being a national issue. You want to live in the land of California and crack and shitting on sidewalks and illegal immigrants and deficits exploding and lawlessness and abortion up to the moment of birth? Go fucking live there. If you don't want to live in that type of state, don't live there. So it's gross to see some of the fundraising that I've seen from Nancy and of course they were ready. As soon as the decision came out, they did what? They pressed they pressed send on the press release. That was a no-brainer. Like, we're ready for this. We're going to raise money off of it. So, Mitch, I mean, my red team to your red team is seeing Democrats in all 50 states standing up, running for governor or whatever, going, I support abortion to the moment of birth. And we all know what happened years ago with the Virginia governor, right? On a radio show, he said the quiet part out loud. And if the child's accidentally born, we'll keep it comfortable for a little bit until the doctor talks with the mom and figures shit out. Like, then we're going to kill it. And then Anna Navarro, just a sorry, disgusting human being over the weekend. I'm in a family with a lot of special needs, and it would have been better. Holy shit, what? Even S.E. Cup, that really, really liberal lady over the weekend, like retweeted at her, like, I have Down syndrome or whatever, just you suggesting that, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. But Anna Navarro saying, yeah, she must be fun at Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving must be fun for Anna Navarro as people look around the table like, does she want to kill me? Whatever. Let's get going. Where are we? Somebody tell me where we are right now. Everybody, it's an excuse to have a sip. This is my first squadron, man, VF-45. Instead of Wiz at the time, they were calling me Rain Man, but that was too long. I got to return to normal. I got a bear trap phase. Bizarro land is pretty good. Shitting on the subway is kind of where we are in New York City. Where are we, in your opinion? Denial, yeah. In your opinion, where are we? I mean, everybody can give. So, in my esteemed opinion, somebody got it right. We're around here in this area. I bring this chart out. I haven't brought this out in a while. Okay. So obviously this was easy, right? This was easy. Remember this new paradigm up here? People like Jim Cramer, right? Beginning of the year, I predicted bear market recession shit show. I did. Joe Biden sophomore year, shit show, bear market recession. Me, Jim Cramer, 22, the roaring 20s. Everybody said it's going to be fucking awesome this year. Me. So the new paradigm got laughed at again, just like the Trump elected, you guys know, the COVID, everything. Nailed it. Denial, check. People, how do we know denial's over with? Because how many times for the past couple months I've told you I still bump into people like, Wiz, where's the bottom? I'm like, are you insane? For a month and a half to 2 months, I did what? I rolled the S&P upside down and showed you what to do. Look at the market inverted. And most people are like, oh, shit. I'm like, are you bullish on this stock? I'd buy with both hands. That's the S&P upside down. Oh. But now, especially on Friday, bull trap. I'm starting to, we haven't even entered earnings season yet. I'm starting to hear, well, we're kind of, this is, we'll return to normal. Nope. I've also told you for the past 4 or 5 months that what? You haven't seen fear or capitulation yet. How many times have I said that? So we haven't seen this yet, or despair. It hasn't happened yet. Anybody who thought Friday was like, oh my God, yay, we're awesome. No. Matter of fact, let's go take a look. What did I say last Tuesday, since we were closed on Monday, in solo Amazon? I said we're probably going to get what? A snapback up to what? 3,800. Didn't I say that? Everybody give me a vertical head nod. I know I said it because I watched the recording and it was in my notes. I'm like, we're going to get a snapback probably up to 3,800. Got it. Then what happened on Friday? A lot of people thought that too, a lot in my mastermind group. Then what happened? A lot of people did what at 3,800? A lot of people got short. And what happened on Friday? That was a shit show of a short squeeze, man. Like painful. Look at that. How many times have we seen, like, and first of all, let's kind of connect everything and draw the trend. Let's just remind us where we are for the people who are like, no, this is a return to normal. This, ladies and gentlemen, ain't anything to write home about. If anything, it slams harder after this because earnings season is coming. So, yeah, I'll put it back up. You take a screenshot of this, folks. You need to have this in your. Did you not look at the smart money, institutional investors, public? So, yeah, Rick, I wouldn't even call it a bear market rally. We went up to 3,800 because we were oversold. A lot of people got short at 3,800 expecting let's go back down again. And whoa! The higher we climb in these bear market rallies, the further we have to fall. If you want this shit to end, you have to get this stuff done, folks. Over 3 decades doing this. This isn't new. To quote Bart, there's nothing new under the sun. This ain't my first rodeo seeing this shit. This is why you can come up with a graph like this. Why? Because it's happened. Now I'm going to take a page from the Wiz playbook. I posted this over the weekend when I watched the sunrise Saturday morning. Beautiful sunrise. Maya Angelou. What a wonderful day. I don't think I've seen this one before. I haven't seen this market before. It's actually worse than any other market I've ever seen. And I thought those were bad. Sitting in the board of trade. Holy shit. Even our firm was like, are we gonna, volatility arbitrage firm should have been cleaning up. Holy shit. Everything was getting destroyed. Oh, hey, real quick. Did everybody take Bart up on the $87 offer? It's cheaper than solo Amazon, man. Because you got to hang out with Bart for a month, period. And Bart ain't a charity, neither am I. $87. It's usually $147 or $297. 30-day test flight in the Tomcat charts. He's been nailing this shit. Wave this, and he was really busy over the weekend posting a lot of stuff. Yep, Thomas, saw you. You joined. Bart's been in here posting some good shit, man. So he did the VIX. He did. There's a lot of great stuff going on. So make sure you grab your Tomcat charts. 30-day trial, only $87. Okay. All right, let's get going. That's kind of my overview, man, because it's just interesting that people still like, aha! Now, what on this screen should you look at immediately today? What are you looking at today? Thomas, I feel you, man. So, Thomas, when I got to Chicago in 2006, I sat on the Metro from Naperville to Union Station on the express train. It was 32 minutes to the second. I sat there, Thomas, every day with my face buried in the Wall Street Journal. I had no idea what a collateralized default swap was or a CDO, or I knew shit. Osmosis. Every day I read that Wall Street Journal cover to cover, every day. So, Thomas, the more you listen to Bart, the more it will sink in. This is not easy, or everybody would be freaking printing money and making money in the market. This is what cracks me up about all the emails that I get from sisters, shit. This is really easy. I took a penny and made it into $1 million. That's probably illegal what you're claiming, and I know you didn't, but this isn't. So you got to listen to Bart, do what he does, chart out what he charts, listen, just keep listen, and it will do. This is not easy. Anybody who tells you investing is easy is a liar. So, good. A couple people, but of course, Karen got it right on the first chance. Right here. Laura, you know where Portney is at Barstool? Did you see his emergency? Now I'm fucking done with that guy. I always didn't like that guy. Now I really don't like him. His abortion video, emergency press conference, abortion. Fucking leave, dude. Leave. Go move. Get out of California. Or I'm sorry, Florida. Go move to California. His abortion video on Friday, he turned off half this country. Just because he's an idiot, right? But we kind of know that. I mean, if you become famous for doing pizza reviews and being a formerly fat guy who goes to Miami every weekend with the videos and does coke at Live and, bottle service, America, good for you, Portney. Don't shove your abortion shit down my throat. So, yeah, watch it. His Friday emergency, he was getting excoriated. Tucker would have him on every once in a while. I guarantee he's done. But anyway, Karen got it. What did Karen say? Mac D. What's happening right now? Every time we get a Mac D crossing, something big happens. Or has happened. Okay? They can come close and not cross. But folks, we look how wide this is and how it's coming together. So I'm not the only dude who is looking at this. Everybody else should be looking at this like, oh, looks like we might have a major reversal here. And earnings are getting ready to start. Okay, this was a really good op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. Could this be an antebellum age? Not going to read it, talk about it because I talked about it on my podcast, which should be dropping today. It wasn't as of when I woke up this morning. Why? Because it feels like the 1850s. Does everybody, I told you to read Every Drop of Blood. It's on my bookshelf right there about Lincoln's second inaugural. Lincoln's second inaugural was not a victory lap. Like, haha, we won. Lincoln's second inaugural was like, we brought this shit on, both of us, and we're getting punished. Why? Because if you're Johnny Reb, what were you thinking? Dear Lord, help me blow these Union scum into the sky. If you are from the 11th Maine, let me these heathen bastards from Georgia. God was on was on my side. It's on my side. No, God wasn't. God technically is on everybody's side. Here's what I'm getting at. This really feels like the 1850s. I'm a man and a student of history. I read voraciously. This was a great op-ed, folks, about where we are. I'm seeing more and more articles. There was two of them on the Drudge Report this weekend. One's like, and it was by the Atlantic or Reason or one of them. That's like where it's kind of over with. I mean, we're red and blue right now. I literally, did you see some of the pride parades, man? Did you see, was it Boston or one of the pride parades? The Boy Scouts were like marching with their flags and stuff like that. And these naked men, I'm not assuming their gender, but they had penises. So I'm not sure what they were, on bikes, like circling the Boy Scouts. And then in Portland, just everybody's naked in the fountain. Kids are running around the fountain, fucking old men. It's insanity. Why am I talking about this? Because I really don't have anything in common with those people. We like to think we're all Americans. What does it mean to be an American at this point? There are a lot of people who are like, fuck the flag and the national anthem. Fuck it. Okay, so we don't have a common like anthem or flag. The borders are wide open. Did you see the last numbers? Over 50 terrorists who are on the FBI's terror watch list were captured. Tell me what defines a country. What makes us American? We respectfully disagree, and when the other side gets their way, we kind of salute and shake hands and move forward. That's the way I was, or am. But anyway, read this. Andrew, we're in a new, guys, you know where I am, man. It's over with. This is the Fred Sanford. We are in a new, look at this 5-year chart. There's a 5-year chart of the S&P 500. Yeah, I'll give you the link to that. It's really good. That and that. If I can project my thoughts forward in space and time, we're down here. And on the 10-year chart, it's going to look like this. This hump from COVID crash to Fed end. So from Fed starting it to Fed ending it. This is going to look like a rabbit and a python. It's over, guys. So 5 years, when DeSantis becomes president and fixes this shit, with Joe Biden, you think he's a lame duck now. Imagine when the Democrats campaign on killing a child at the moment of birth, if it's accidentally born. Because you know that's going to come up in a debate, right? Oh, the governor of Virginia, who's a Democrat, said we can kill a child after it's born if it was accidentally born. Do you support that? No, just the second before that. What? But anyway, so guys, it's over. Does anybody doubt that? Right? I'm still reading all the shit that says, well, Jerome might pivot. So we're waiting for we're just relying on the Fed. Yeah, here's the link to this. Read this, because this does feel like the 1850s, guys. We just cannot get along politically. I could not stand Barack Hussein Obama. I couldn't stand Bill Clinton. Kind of couldn't stand George Bush Jr. But, you know, you respectfully disagree, man. Not anymore. We're going to have Democrats would rather have drag queens in your school than police protecting it. I remember growing up, if I saw like my 8th grade teacher at the supermarket, I thought it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, oh my God, I thought they lived there. She has a life. Today, it's like, if I can't tell my students that I went away with my boyfriend this weekend, it's a hate crime. The fuck are you talking about? Um, the G7 talking over and let me start with this. Did you see the German vice chancellor over the weekend? He's asking Germans to drastically reduce the time in the shower to cope with the energy crisis. It's June. It's June. Need you to stop taking hot showers. It's fucking June, dude. What happens in the fall? And you ready for this? The winter. Somebody tell me what happens in Ukraine and, well, what happens in Europe when the first snow hits. And oh, by the way, it's so funny that this embargo of Russia is actually making Russia more money. Have you all figured that out yet? Have you done the math? He's selling a shitload more of his energy and making more money. You think the Germans are going to go through the winter freezing? Vladimir Putin's just sitting here like the Cheshire Cat, like, okay, folks, I'm just going to keep grinding it out in Ukraine. Wow. Unbelievable. Take less. But anyway, this was a really good, this guy's brilliant. Noam Chomsky, just a brilliant, one of the brilliant minds in this country, folks. These two rarely would agree with each other. They agree with who? Me. And the Pope. Look at all this shit. We went this way. For what? If you think we share no blame at all for what's going on in Ukraine, you're an idiot. And you know nothing about history and you didn't listen to the dude. Read this, what he said. And again, Henry Kissinger, Chomsky, Wiz, and the Pope are all Putin plants. Now I just kind of take a step back and evaluate shit now and look at both sides. Invading a country is a war crime and horrible, and you should be arrested and put on trial. However, where's all the Democrats? Where's all my DAs? Well, I'm not going to add the special charges on this one because of what? Oh, so you're going to look at the just feelings and stuff around things now and make a decision. How about you look at the stuff and feelings around this? We did this. Yeah, exactly. We almost had a World War III when they parked missiles in Cuba. Here we are in the United States, sitting right here, baby, North America, when Europe is really the speed bump. But anyway, this was a great read. NATO expansion, baby. This isn't just my opinion. It is the opinion of every high-level U.S. official in the diplomatic services who has any familiarity with Russia and Eastern Europe. Though various U.S. administrations acknowledged and to some extent respected the Russian red lines, meaning, hey guys, stop, like over there, just stop with your NATO expansion. We're fine. The Bill Clinton administration did not. George H.W. Bush made an explicit promise to Gorbachev that NATO would not expand past East Germany. Perfectly explicit. You can see it in the documents. It's very clear. Bush lived up to it. But when Clinton came along, he started violating it. You know why? Domestic political reasons. He had to get the Polish vote, the ethnic vote. So he would let the so-called Visegrad countries, in NATO. Russia accepted it. They didn't like it, but they accepted it. Listen to this. The second George Bush just threw the door wide open. He even invited Ukraine to join over the objections of everyone in his diplomatic service, apart from his only little shitheads, Cheney, Rumsfeld. Wow. Starting in 2014, the United States began openly, not secretly, moving to integrate Ukrainian into the NATO. Whatever, guys, you have to read this. This lays out an absolute fact-based timeline as to why Russia invaded Ukraine. And to the idiots sitting at home going, oh my God, I'm shocked that this happened. You're the problem. This was bad. Oh, did that coach win? Wow. The establishment clause does not mean the outlaw clause. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get operational. Powell's path to 2% inflation needs luck or, failing that, pain. That's whiz for the past 2 years in one headline. He actually used that last week, didn't he, in his testimony? He used the word pain, like Clubber Lang or Mr. T, right? My prediction for the fight, pain. My prediction for 2022, pain. He doesn't have luck, folks. He sucks. He's failed miserably at his job. Seriously, a stay-at-home mom or dad or somebody could have done a better job than the Fed chief. People who shop every day, who have to fill up their car and shit like that, knew what to do. So, the odds of, quote, a soft landing are zero. I'm not even giving you 0.01, it's zero. We've already crashed, folks. Sven. We all need to be cognizant that volatility and risk for new lows remains extremely high, especially if the Fed makes another policy mistake. Duh. Yet at the same time, the market is telling us it is salivating at the prospect of a currently unimaginable Fed pivot, guys. This tweet, I love when I get ready for my brief last night and this morning and shit like that. As this, it's like, I feel like Bart. I see the Matrix. The market is salivating that Jerome Powell is going to, stop, or that inflation disappears overnight. Folks, once inflation is in, it is in. This is a great thread, man. He nailed all this stuff. In a major slowdown in housing result in higher unemployment and full-blown recession, the Fed is still very much in public denial about. This scenario will see a bear market rally fail and again see new lows as corporate earnings come down dramatically. Thank you. In a couple tweets, everything I've been ranting about. I just told you earnings haven't even started. For the past couple earnings, I've been shocked that CEOs, CFOs haven't done what? Thrown Joe Biden under the bus. Everything's shitty. It's not my fault. It's Joe Biden, Democrats, inflation. That really hasn't happened yet. Now it's insanity. Earnings calls are 70-30. 30%, here's how we did. 70%, here's what the future looks like. Somebody tell me, if you're a CEO, do you get on the earnings call and say everything's great currently and everything's going to get even better? Do you guys remember this? I do. If you were here, you definitely do. In 2018, the Fed was forced to what? Capitulate when the 10-year hit 3.2 and markets collapsed. Why? Because the historic debt construct can't handle higher yields. 25 basis point increase, folks, is $133 billion added to our deficit. I saw recent math. 4 years later, we find ourselves with $9 trillion of more debt, and markets are collapsing again in the face of rising yields. My premise, there is no way, no how the Fed can get to a current projected 3.8% funds rate by 23 without causing a major recession. And the market's already telling us this. 2022 has already seen the greatest wealth destruction in history, all of which will be a major drag on consumption. People don't feel rich, folks, the wealth effect. And consumer sentiment, which we'll get again this week, is already at recessionary levels. Hence, perversely, we may enter a period where bad news is good news. Bizarro market. As ever, slowing growth will raise recession expectations and cause yields to drop. Bullish for stocks. And to the extent we see any type of rollover inflation data this summer, this would also be massively positive for markets, which could lead us to the bear market rally. So, ladies and gentlemen, now you know, now you see my show prep. This is why I told you where we are. Right here. Everything Sven just said, we have talked about and haven't started. So get ready, man. And I'm going to shock you in a couple minutes about what I'm going to personally do with Amazon. So buckle up, Buttercup. But we are right around here, guys. We could also get that November. I told you to put it down in your calendar, man. August-ish, September. Bull. Tsunami. I am thankful for God for the abortion issue. I can't wait to see Democrats not give a shit about inflation at all and froth at the mouth about abortion, because that's what soccer moms care about. Filling up their Volvos, buying bread, buying milk, paying for shit, buying hockey skates. Because that's what people care about the most is abortion. Please do that, Democrat. I'm begging you. I might even go counter espionage and actually donate for you guys to look at that. So, anyway. Graham, I think the odds of what you typed happening are zero. Not at all. Might be peace in Ukraine, but everything else, nah. All right, be careful this week, though. You ready? Quarter-end buying may lift stocks higher before the next market storm. So what am I saying here, folks? We can get a little continuation. Be very, very careful. Even though we got a MACD, look at that. It literally crossed right there. Be very careful because this week is the end of the quarter. End of Q2, man. Strategists, however, that any bounce could be the prelude to a sell-off mid-July once earnings season begins. Got it. But be careful this week, guys. PCE on Thursday. Open higher, rate hike, fear ease. We laughed last week at Ken Griffin, my former competitor. The peak 6. Ken Griffin, man. We're the same age. No, I think he's a year younger than me. Amazon. Look at these two. I love this type of stuff. You ready for this? Amazon Prime Day expected to be another retail sales blockbuster. July 12th through 13th. Jefferies, quite simply, expects Amazon to knock it out of the park again. $8.1 billion. Wow. 4% tailwind in the Q3 GMV sales growth. Wow. Jefferies has Amazon slotted with a buy rating and a price target of 163. Wow. Pretty damn bullish article on Amazon. And then Prime Day has hit a slowdown as consumers cut down on their order size, the Wall Street Journal. Jeffries, Amazon Prime Day blowout. Wall Street Journal, shit show. Welcome to the world of investing. Jeffries, been to Jeffries. We were doing a massive deal with Jeffries in New York in their headquarters. Been there. Been to the Wall Street Journal too. Who's right? Wall Street Journal, pretty damn smart people. Jeffries, pretty damn smart people. Look at both of these. A lot of numbers and this and that and this and that. A lot of numbers and this and that and this and that. Wow. Amazon, too, appears to have curtailed its investment in the event. Most of the deals have focused on the company's products. Duh. We're having a big blowout sale day. Here's all other people's stuff. Yeah, let's sell all of that instead of our shit. This is kind of dumb. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the Wall Street Journal one of these. They're saying 7.76 billion. What was this? 8.1? 100 million here, 100 million there. We're talking about real money here. So this is just interesting. Historically, ladies and gentlemen, Amazon catches a bid going into Prime Day. I just don't. I don't get it. So before we look at Amazon, pending home sales, what did they come in at? Ooh. Huh. That's a little bit of a, well, it still sucks. Never mind. Big week for, so tomorrow's a big, so we get the Case-Shiller, HPI, Case-Shiller, and the conference board. This is a big one, folks. The consumer confidence number, huge. Market will move on that one. Me, I think consumer confidence is going to suck. The biggest, well, there's a lot of big macro this week. One of the biggest is this. Final GDP. We saw Janet last week do what? Well, technically a recession is defined as 2 quarters of negative growth, but not all recessions are the same. And this, okay, you can't hit the ball over the net, you lower the net. I would have fired that woman. I would have fired her as Fed chief. Core PCE on Thursday. Personal spending, personal income, Chicago PMI. Friday, construction. I think Thursday, the meat of the week is Wednesday, Thursday, man. Core, big macro week. Okay, now, so let's talk about Amazon. As I predicted, and I still think this is going to happen, I think we get back down to $100. I think this goes down 10%. They haven't, yeah, exactly, Mitch. Can't hit the ball over the net, lower the net. Some people are like, oh, they're going to lie on these numbers. And, folks, if I were liars in this administration, I'd go recession now, and I'd go Barack Hussein Obama's reelection. You saw it. It happened in the past. I called it, and I was right when I said it, of course, and then I was right a year and a half later after an inspector general did an investigation, and they released it on page D3 in the comment section. Oh, yeah, that was a lie. Like 85 out of 100 economists at the BLS, whatever it's called, 85 economists donated to the Obama campaign. The others 5 didn't donate to anybody. They weren't Republican. This is, Google it. Jack Welch was on CNBC when those job numbers came out. I called it a lie before he did. He's like, that's impossible. That's a lie. That's just a lie. And the hosts were like, what do you know? We're TV hosts. You only built GE and ran it. We know what we're talking about. Like that Carl Cantanilla guy. What a liberal piece of shit. You remember the debates, like this with the CNBC moderators? What a bunch of partisan. Andrew Ross Sorkin. If you look up the definition of silver spoon and baby, it's his picture. Here's what I'm about to say. So my advice is if it flies, floats, or fornicates, you rent it. And I was looking, instead of doing some condos in Fort Lauderdale because they're about to pop, I was looking at a big ass sailboat. Because I like sailboats. Susie and I owned a Catalina 27. We kept it at Dana Point in Orange County. I love that. And then sailed it down to San Diego when I got stationed when El Toro closed and we went down to Miramar. And I'm still thinking about it. I want something, it's a nice big boat. You guys come down, we can go sailing and stuff like that. Got internet, obviously. I can trade. Why am I rambling about this? Because if I don't, I'm going to get back in the market, like big. How? Even though, let's take a look at this. Let me ask you all a rhetorical question, but let me just test everybody to make sure you're awake right now. Awesome, Mitch. Yeah, we'll go. I'm looking at let me show you. It's a Hylas 70. It is awesome. Seriously looking at it. It's a beautiful boat. Because I want to just, I'm a Navy guy, man. I like, but the condo thing, I know a lot of people in Fort Lauderdale, and I kind of got turned off of it. But this boat, man, I'm seeing it this week. We might take it out for a little bit of a test sail. Why am I rambling about this? Because if I don't do this, I'm going to jump in the market with a double-barreled shotgun. And what am I going to do? We got a kitchen. I love this boat. Got the kids' rooms and all sorts of shit like that. Go sail over to the islands. Well, Bob, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm like, you know what? Put this on hold, and yeah, trust me. So if I don't do that, so I'll find out this week. Here's what I'm getting at, guys. When does an options contract expire? On the expiration whiz. When does stock expire? Yeah, exactly, Goose. When does stock expire? When it's Enron, when it's Pets.com, when it's Lehman Brothers, when it's Bear Stearns, when it's Lucent, when it's ELOT, elottery.com. This website, we buy lottery tickets in all 50 states. Wiz sitting in the red room in 2000. That seems like a great company to invest in. Zero. So, not here to give you a solo Amazon lecture because you already are here. What is Wiz going to do? Maybe. I am going to buy $100,000 worth of Amazon. Hence the term solo Amazon. If I bought $100,000, or I'm sorry, just 1,000 shares of Amazon today, it cost 114 grand. This is not my portfolio margining account. These accounts are under 100 grand right now, so I don't get the 100 grand. I mean, I wouldn't have to pay the full 114 grand. Separate discussion, but here's what I'm getting at, guys. Or you do 500 shares, right? But stay with me. If I bought 1,000 shares of Amazon later this week, either I'm buying a boat or I'm putting $100,000 into Amazon here. Why would I do that? First of all, it never expires. If we take another big leg down and keep going down, I'm the guy telling you right now, I think we're going down to $100 on Amazon, if not 90. I'm still saying it goes down. But guess what? What would Uncle Wiz do with 1,000 shares of Amazon? If I bought 1,000 shares of Amazon today, what would I immediately do as soon as I bought those? I would sell 10 of Fridays at the money calls, the 115s, and I would bring in $2,400. Let's all do the math together. $2,400 times 52 trading weeks equals $125,000. Amazon, unless there's a nuclear war, is not going out of business tomorrow or anytime soon. It can definitely go down in price. So in this type of market condition, folks, I always wear my options hat, but I'm going to tilt it to the left and put on a stock hat. Maybe you buy a high yield stock. Google it right now, high dividend stocks. This is the time, ladies and gentlemen, especially as the volatility is elevated. It isn't what? It ain't super elevated right now. I'm telling you. Why would the VIX not be coming up as a symbol? VIX. Thank you. The 20s? Upper 20s, folks. Bart is just coming out with a VIX thing. I think there's another big spike in volatility going on. But folks, this is a target-rich environment where it might be actually time to buy quality stocks, high dividend. Mo's a big one. We talked about that in the past. And not only get dividends, but what? Sell upside calls. So Jeff Bezos obviously lied, or actually he didn't lie because he's not the CEO anymore. When he was CEO, he said what? I'm never going to split the stock. Split. So Jaffe split the stock. Does Amazon wake up one day and go, you know what? We are going to start paying a dividend. Sweet. So, yeah, exactly, man. Folks, a covered call has the exact same risk graph as what? A cash secured put. Check this out, folks. If I have no problem owning Amazon at 115, what could I do out to Friday, folks? I could sell 10 of Friday, or not Friday, sorry, July 1st. I was going to say there's a lot of premium in that thing. If I sold 10 of Friday's 115 puts, I bring in the same amount as what? The covered call. And technically, I'm not out a shitload of money right now with what? Buying 1,000 shares for $100,000. Ladies and gentlemen, selling a cash secured put on Amazon right now might be freaking fantastic. Wiz, I don't have $100,000. Great. How about sell one contract? Sell one July 115 put. Sell just one of them. 5 of them. Even 5, folks. 5. You're bringing in $1,200. 1,200 times 52 trading weeks. You're making $62,000 a year. It's definitely a yacht payment. So this is the environment that I'm in right now, man. Mitch posted, I think, a link to some high dividend stocks. This is the environment to start doing this stuff in. Because, as I showed you at the beginning, this is where you do this. This is why I'm dusting this thing off. Right in there, man. And if you do own an Amazon and stuff through this stuff, you are ready to go as it explodes again, folks. We will get out of this, man, unless this just really is the massive Fred Sanford and we're all going to die. We all are going to die eventually, but it ain't, you know. So keep an eye on this, man. Wow, 70 to Shenandoah. BHP Billiton, yeah, that's a strong company. Sunoco. Dillard's. Arch Coal. So good stuff, folks. This is what I would do. I'm with you, Mitch. That's why I said, hey, I think Amazon, we're going to get another leg down here. I think Amazon gives us another leg down, but it's enough. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to go look at a boat, but I like Bob's idea. Put the 100 grand in Amazon and sell covered calls against it. But this week, I feel we do probably get a little bit of a end of quarter rebalancing and window dressing. I think we hang up here for a little bit, but we're going to have an opportunity. I'm going to have an opportunity to buy Amazon cheaper. Right? So, I'm either going to buy the shares or sell the puts. Okay. And somebody asked earlier, I could do that if I, hey, Wiz, you can sell the upside calls, but you said you think Amazon's going to go down. What could you do, man? Collar it. Sell the upside calls, right? Make money on the upside calls as Amazon goes down, and then do what? You make money on the damn puts. You're actually making money three ways technically. If you bought that, and again, guys, a little big of a larger account, but right now, can you buy 100 shares of Amazon? It's 11 grand. I know that ain't cheap. Start accumulating. This is right around here is where you do the nibble, because nobody's going to call the bottom perfectly. We did in the COVID crash. That was easy. Jeffrey Gumlock missed it. No, we're going to hit those March lows again. What? So I'm giving you this exactly, Goose. That's why I'm giving you this brief now in preparation for this. This is why we call it a brief. This is what's going to happen out here in the future. I'm briefing you about it. Telling you exactly what I'm going to do with my personal money. That is what I would do. Any questions about that? But definitely, I don't think they've come out. Yeah. We're about a month, we're 2 weeks away-ish from what? Financial earnings? Yeah, 3 weeks. So somebody had asked me last week, I said, nah. Because usually it pops up on my calendar about now, right? It usually pops up to do what? Look at financials. That's a weird voicemail. This is Ryan with the Murfreesboro Airport. I got your cell phone number. Give me a call about getting an A10 for a community event. Don't have an A10, but I'll give you a call back, man. Okay. Yeah, good. Well, guys, I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing, which is going to look at a boat on Thursday or Friday. So I'm not doing anything this week. Again, in these type of, if you didn't get the This initial move, hang. This is definitely a hang right now. And that you can do that. Yes. So buy, because, and I know you were a big Amazon trader for a while there. Buy the stock, man. Buy the stock right now. Sell an at the money call. Buy the stock. Let's just say you bought 500 shares today, right? You could sell 5 of Friday's 116 calls, and you would make $1,000. Now you don't have to buy the puts right now because Amazon's kind of hovering up here. I would wait, Ann, to buy the puts until when? You get a turn and it starts going down. I keep selling at the money calls as it went down. But if you bought puts down here and the puts turn green, yay. So you're making money on the at the money calls, and you're making money if Amazon goes down on the puts. Well, losing money on the stock, are you? When do you lose money on the stock? When you hit close. But if you want to hold that, I'm going to hold Amazon forever. I was an Amazon 6,000 guy when COVID happened. And then I'm like, oh shit. So new paradigm, Colin Powell, my American dream. Do not get so close to your strategic position that when presented with new data, evidence, you don't change. So Amazon, $200 stock in a couple of years, easily. So yeah, exactly. Whoever, yeah, Jersey, yeah, man. It's essentially the wheel. Or you do the wheel doing what? A cash secured put. If I wouldn't mind owning 1,000 shares of Amazon, I would sell 10 of Friday's 115 puts, and I'd bring in $2,400. $2,400. How much you make a month? Isn't that awesome? Oh, 2,400 times 5 weeks equals 12 grand. Sorry. You got it, Goose. It is definitely time for a wagon wheel discussion. This is the environment for wagon wheel. This and this usually aren't. This type of shit, it definitely is. Buy high quality names. This is the time where I just said I put on my stock hat a little bit and go, I'm going to just throw a shitload of money into individual names and sell upside calls and sit here waiting for the storm to pass. Making money, making money, making money. If you look at some high dividend names and buy the stock, you get the dividend and you sell upside calls against it. You can do a good 5 to 8% a month, folks, which I'm telling you, I've had a lot of buddies who, when I read their 9-page prospectus of their hedge fund, I'm like, so you buy high dividend names and you sell upside calls against them? Yeah, that's fucking brilliant. And you get paid obscene amounts of money to do that? Yep. So, there you go, Andrew. I have no clarity into those guys, man. We can save that for another brief since we're in solo Amazon, but yeah, maybe do a Black Rifle, man. Although there's not too much premium in that, so. You got it, Mark. Yo, trust me. I mean, I love these people that make themselves out to be geniuses. I'm like, okay, you're selling cash secured puts and then upside calls. That's my entire company. Good. Like I said, I got buddies whose hedge funds they do. These are nice base hits, folks. These are nice base hits. David, but if Amazon goes up, they take the stock. And then what do? Buy Amazon again and do it again for Friday. Exactly. It's the wheel, guys. This is exactly what the wheel is. Sell at the money calls, sell at the money calls. Oh, this week the stock got called away from me. Buy the stock, sell at the money calls. It's a wheel, guys. Sell at the money calls, sell at the money calls. Oh, they called the stock away. Buy the stock again, sell at the money calls. They called the stock away. Buy the stock again, sell at the. If the stock doesn't have to, remember, guys, go watch the full throttle training on covered calls. The stock doesn't have to be called away. I usually let it go. But if you're like, no, I want to keep the stock, buy the calls back. Oh, I've done that before. I'm like, I want to hang on to the stock. Or it's, oh man, I think it's going to do a rip your face off rally. All right, I want to hold on to the shares, buy them back, buy the short calls back. Right? So I have zero FOMO, guys. If I'm in a covered call and the thing rips higher, I go, okay, great. I'm lazy, man. I don't sit here for 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, dude. I'm looking at a sailboat, go fly, go to the beach, hang out with my kids. Friday, oh, my stock's going to get called away. Darn, I only made X amount this week. If you're somebody who sits here and goes, yeah, but I could have made more, you suck at trading. Be centered. Anytime you do the whole, but I could have made more, you got problems. My dad, Matthew, somebody's always got a bigger boat. You can't be happy the boat you're on, you're going to have a really tough time in life. He was right. If I sit in a trade or a covered call or whatever this week and go, hey man, I made $2,500. I could have made more. That dude died a long time ago. That dude didn't even need the medicine. That was investing 20, 30 years ago, man. Does that make sense? That's what I'm going to do. You do whatever you think you need to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I might start accumulating Amazon shares. I might even just kind of, even before I make the decision on the boat, I'm just going to start buying 100 shares of Amazon or 50 shares or whatever. This would be the time to think about the dollar cost averaging. You know, I'm going to buy me a little Amazon here, a little Amazon here, a little Amazon here. Dollar cost averaging is a thing because it's a thing, because it actually can work. Okay, but, and I went over 8 minutes, but I had a little rant at the beginning. I do think we give some back first. So sitting on my hands, kind of like Goose said he's doing, I'm going to sit on my hands for a little bit because, yeah, it's definitely, you know, that's the trend here, especially with earnings coming up. But this week, window dressing, I think we hover up here for a little bit, and then we're gonna get a little bit of a slam. So, great word to use, Karen. I love it. Patience. Goose, I have an institutional buddy that takes profit on all covered calls at 50%. They auto trade the 30 delta. Exactly. They have about a 70% win, but they do not allow a runway. They close at negative 50. True. Keeping it in the ballpark. That's where I failed this spring. Control the losses. Exactly. Folks, you can't make, you know, this is worth the price of admission. You can't make money if you're losing money. Step one. What's the number one rule of investing? To make money. Fail. The number one rule of investing is not to lose money. It's the number one rule of investing. It ain't to make money. It's to not lose money. It's to manage risk. And then by doing those things, you can potentially make money. That's like step 3 on my checklist is making money. Step 1 is to not lose money. Step 2 is to manage risk. If you do both of those things, you will make money. All right, guys, I got to get going. Apologize that I went late. I'll keep you in the loop on the boat stuff. But, hey, man, we're going to have our South Florida Naval Squadron. We'll have a couple airplanes and we'll have a boat. So we got to do some more live events, man. Doing the first look was awesome. You guys, I was a little busy, but you guys doing all your TGO shit. Christine did a great job as the commanding officer of the TGO squadron, the detachment. You guys had fun. I had fun, but it was great. But I think we're going to do another live event. We're definitely going to do one for Veterans Day. We can't release No Fallen Heroes. We'll do another kind of. I'll give you more updates. Submitting the Sundance in September, you can't have released it. So we're probably the Veterans Day thing is probably going to only be for us. And a bigger theater, man. Maybe we'll do it in like the IMAX or something like that. So Lawrence, anybody buying Amazon 115, be prepared to hold it and buy more if when it goes under 100. Exactly. And Lawrence gets a gold star. It's exactly what you do. That's what I'm saying, man. If I buy 1,000 shares of Amazon, I'm planning on holding that and giving it to the kids, man, donating it to my charity, whatever. Even if it gets called away, I want to buy more. Now that we have clarity that we're entering a shit show or we're in it and Amazon already split, now the dust is starting to settle around Amazon for me. I don't like doing shit when it's cloudy and dusty, man. I like being able to see. I'm putting my night vision goggles on. So good advice, Lawrence. Awesome, Karen. We'd love to see you too. We missed you last time. So awesome. Goose is 1,000 shares of Amazon now. Mark, well done, Mark. So Mark just bought 400 shares of Amazon. So if I were Mark, I would do what? I would sell 4 contracts out to Friday right now and bring in $940, baby. $940 is not too shabby. 940 times 52 trading weeks is 50 grand, man. Oh, you've done that already. Awesome. Look at that. He's already way ahead of me, baby. He's just on that tactic alone, folks. On that tactic alone, Mark 50 grand in a year. And that's not even counting what? The stock going up and getting called away. If you annualize what Mark's doing, it's probably closer to $75,000 return in a year. So, Lawrence, I'll post my Amazon positions in the group, but I'm very long 2024 calls, writing near-term calls against it, buying protected puts as it's running higher. Lawrence, 2 gold stars. I love everything he just said. Another reason to be over here in the Lifetime or in the Hunters, man. This is good stuff. 75, 78 folks over here in the Hunters. Some of you graduated, so to speak, over to Lifetime. Welcome aboard. Still got a couple emails over the weekend like, hey, the Lifetime 60% discount. I'm like, what part of midnight 2 Fridays ago didn't you understand? That's closed. You can join at the regular Lifetime, which is open. So, all right, guys, I got to get going. Look at that. I have a call from South Korea. This should be interesting. So I'll talk to you guys later. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. Fights on, and namaste. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Cheers. Korea.